Hey everyone, it's Jamie Broderick. I'm the founder of the Success Connection and the owner of Above the Crowd, which is a market leadership training business. And I'm here today with the amazing Susan Townsend, who was a retreat attendee and is also a member of the Success Connection. And we're going to be talking about the importance of follow through. Right, Susan? How are you?
Oh, yes, I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm inside, warm, and there's snow outside.
I know. It's nice to be able to look at it from being comfortable inside, right?
Yeah, I thought spring was here, but alas, that is not the case. Anyway,
No.
hi Marissa, how are you? There's a few people watching already. That's great.
Awesome.
So, when you attended the Sword of New Heights retreat in New York, one of the things you mentioned after getting off the ropes course was that you realized that you let yourself off the hook and don't follow through all the way to the intended goal. Can you speak a little bit about that realization? And then maybe we can provide our viewers with some strategies on how to overcome that if they're suffering from the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it was something that I didn't really realize was my fault. I didn't realize that I was the one that was not following through, because whenever you start out on a new mission, new goal, whatever it is, it's easy to think that we're, get caught up in all the busyness. But if you don't reach that goal, sometimes we go like, I don't know what happened. And I think it was the actual physical manifestation of being up on that ladder. And, this was the last element that I went on, and, legs are tired, arms are tired. And, James and I were working together, and we had this goal of getting all the way to the top. But, I just started to find myself realizing that last bar was so high up, and it's just such a great analogy for reaching any goal. That last bar was so high up there. I started to think, I made it this far. Okay. So maybe I don't need to get all the way to the top. But then, like the other side of my head was going like, no, you idiot. You want to reach it. You want to reach the top. And it was just all of a sudden this, wow, I'm the problem. I'm the one that's holding myself back from not reaching, whatever bar I've set.
So you see this happens in other areas of your business?
Oh, sure. I want to start a program. I get it all set up. And then for whatever reason, I don't follow through, or it doesn't achieve the goal that I had intended for it. And, most of the time it's my own fault. I wasn't as prepared, or I wasn't following through, or I wasn't keeping myself accountable to the goals that I set.
Right. Well, you've done work for me because besides being a coach, you're also a project manager, a virtual assistant, and you've done work for me, and you've met every deadline and done your work 110%. So would you say that it's a matter of holding yourself accountable versus being accountable to other people's expectations?
Yeah, I would say that's accurate, because when you're, running your own business, you're alone in your home office or wherever you're doing your work from, it's all you. It really does help to have somebody keep you accountable. So up on that rope ladder, James was there, and he was just as tired. But I wanted to make it because I didn't want to let him down. Because he would have he had already reached that high bar. He was trying to drag me up, so I didn't want to let him down by not, by just saying like, I'm good down here,
Right. Wow. Okay. Marissa has a comment. Let's throw her comment up here. She's saying it's so often that it's right before we break through to greatness that we're tempted to settle for less.
Yep.
And the key is to keep moving forward.
100% right. Yep.
Yeah. So as far as moving forward, a lot of times I have calls with members every month and with clients, and a lot of times people get overwhelmed and stuck because they're not sure of what that next step is. So one of the things I like to do is help them get clarity so that they know what that next action step is, so that there's forward motion. So does that ever happen to you where it's just too much and you just can't quite chunk it down so that you can take action?
Yes. Yeah. Because sometimes there are just too when you're setting a goal for something, you see the entire picture. You see every step of it. You see everything that needs to be done. And it gets too overwhelming. And it's so funny because I used to tell my children this all the time whenever they had a project, that they were working on for school. Chunk it down, take it in sizable bites. Here I am telling them that, but when it comes to telling myself that, it's like, blah, no, I see everything is too much.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
So having somebody keep you accountable to it, even just the little 15-minute calls that we do, you're able to see, because you're on the outside looking in, so you're able to see things so much more clearly
Mm-hmm.
than when I'm stuck in the mud and the mire and every little detail and not knowing, getting myself all lost because I don't know which step to take on next,
Right. Yes,
Really,
I would say one idea is that you should bounce it off, talk it through with somebody
yeah.
and get clarity. Another idea would be to set the milestones and then work on the tasks while you're having the CEO day, perhaps. So it's not when you're like come to your office and you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing today. You should have it really laid out. So if you have a goal for 60 days, I'm going to launch a new website. So the first 30 days is branding and the second 30 days is building the site. Well, what has to happen each week?
Right, exactly.
Backwards from your goal. So that helps.
Reverse engineering. It's one of my favorite terms now.
Yep.
Is you see where you are, you see where you want to be, and reverse engineer your way back, through those milestones. 60 days, 30 days, 2 weeks, this week, today.
Right. And being part of a group that's like an accountability or mastermind group, or just having someone hold you to the fire is really good. So here's your accountability partner. James is on. And he says, he didn't want to let you down either. Literally let you down.
Well, and that's teamwork. That's the epitome of teamwork. We had a common goal. We just worked together to make it happen. And that's the great thing about having, being part of the group, being part of the, the Success Connection, everything. Because there's other people that can help give you. I've seen it on some of the calls that we have. Sometimes somebody will say that I don't know how to do this. And then somebody will say, well, what if you did this? And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. Duh.
Right. Yeah. I think one really good thing about the retreats is that you get to step away and look at everything from a big picture perspective.
Yeah.
It's incredible. When you get out of the muck, you get so much clarity on where you should be spending your time, what you should be doing today versus putting on the back burner. That's good. Angelique is on. Hi, Angelique. She says, fear, being overwhelmed, being judged, judging yourself, doubt. I can relate.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pile. Huh? It's a big pile of stuff. Oh, everyone's been there, though. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. And I think everybody that was on the retreat, I mean, we were all at different levels of, ability and everything. And I think everybody pushed themselves a little bit. Everybody pushed themselves, reached something that they didn't think they could do or reach, or beyond what they wanted to, what they thought they could achieve. I thought it was really great. And again, it's the physical manifestation of what we're trying to do in our heads all the time.
Exactly. So it is a physical retreat because you're climbing ropes and doing zip lines, but it's the mindset shift that happens as a result. That's the power. That's the whole reason we're there.
Yeah.
So one of the things Stephanie had said before we had climbed up there, she said, make sure you pay attention to what that moment is where you have that shift. So yours was on the ladder, like you were describing. Mine was on the trapeze platform. That terror that I had, there's no way I'm climbing back down that tree. But working up the courage to trust and leap with both hands out, that was my moment. And once I did it and grabbed that, oh my God, it was so exhilarating. It was fantastic to go from like almost crying to like, yeah, like, and I bring myself back to that moment all the time. Anything tough comes up, like, all right, I have to, create this big program, and it's like, I don't have a lot of time, or I'm being interviewed by this big person. It's like, jumped off that platform onto a trapeze. I can do anything. No problem.
Yeah, because it gives you something to go back to,
Yeah.
And say like, why am I afraid of, going Facebook Live when I jumped off a platform,
Everything's easy after that.
Yeah.
Seriously, easy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's see. Lisa Menz is on. Hi, Lisa. How are you? She
Ah,
says hello to you, Susan. She's not saying hi to me.
it's just Jamie.
It's just me. You see me all the time. Angelique says, afraid to ask for help, which has always been a big pride, ego block for me in the past. Still not easy, but not easy, much easier. Well, now that you're a part of the Success Connection, Angelique, you may get some help even when you don't ask for it. Because we all want you to win. So the good side of me being honest is that you always know what I'm thinking, and I won't just pat you on the back. I'll call you out.
Yeah.
If you're giving me excuses. Oh yeah, no way. We're not going to achieve our goals if we're like, oh yeah, it's fine. I'll let you off the hook, just like Susan was letting herself off the hook. No, it's not fine.
It's not fine. No.
Oh.
The other thing that I liked about the retreat was getting other people's perspectives on how to overcome what's been holding you back, the boundaries that we set, the fears that we have, because all of the different speakers had their way of communicating the steps, and you're gonna resonate with at least one. There's going to be something that you learn, something that you bring back that is going to help you later on. I actually have, so the exercise that we did with Amy with writing on the stars, what we accomplished and everything like that, I actually have those stars on my bulletin board that are right above my desk here.
That's awesome. Tell me what it says. So the exercise was to think about, was it something amazing that you accomplished that day?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the 5 things that you used to accomplish it. Okay.
Right.
So what do you got, girl?
It says, I made it to the top. Again, thinking about that ropes course. But the 5 things that I have were stretch. So, physically, we had to stretch, but it's also like a stretch goal. Mm-hmm. Strength, trust, push, and hand up. You got to keep
ask for help too, right?
Yeah, ask for help.
It's okay to have James help you. You don't have to do everything yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to build your business alone is it's just not the most efficient, smartest way to do it. But you got us all here to help you. Why not take advantage of it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And everybody that's in the group has had their own experience, and we're all at different levels. So everybody's got something they can contribute.
Absolutely. Michelle McCartan, hey, how are you? Here's Marissa has a nice long comment. Look at this. I love how you pointed out that everyone at the retreat was at different ability levels, but each person pushed themselves. This is the way I see the Success Connection working. Members are at all different levels with their business, but every person can level up if they want to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because there's always a little bit more. Yeah. Even if you have accomplished, you've accomplished whatever your goal is, there's always a little bit more. You can always go a little bit farther.
Absolutely. Yeah. So how can you improve? Everything you do, you can improve.
Yeah.
Learn something new, do something more efficiently, help someone a little more, just be that much more. Like my goal every day is to have at least one person say, wow. I think that's a great way to start my day. Like, I want someone to say, wow. So what am I going to do to make that happen?
Yeah.
Right? Why not? It's a good mini goal. I like it. So what goals are you working on now, and how is that going, Susan?
Goals that I'm working on now. So I was going to be doing a program that involved a 21-day, cleanse, physical cleanse, and incorporating coaching into that. And I got 90% of the way there, and then my life just exploded again, and I had to delay it because I didn't feel that I could put 100% of myself into that program, and I didn't want to not show up for the clients that signed up for it. So would you
say that the planning up front, you didn't give yourself You didn't give yourself enough time initially, or are you letting yourself off the hook again?
Maybe a little both. I think the timing wasn't correct. I had this idea. I was like, if I don't post on Facebook about it now, then I'm not going to do it. So, I went ahead and started posting, but then I hadn't really thought about my actual schedule and things that I have going on. So I needed to back off.
Yeah, you really need to have visual calendars. I have 3 months on my wall. We're ready to have May on the wall, by the way, even though it's snowing out. 3 months, maybe more, because you want to plan at least 90 days. And if you're doing a program, it's not just the creation of the program, it's also the marketing of the program. If you don't leave yourself enough time, you're not going to be ready, or you're not going to have anyone there.
Yeah. Well, and besides also the marketing of it, it's actually having the program written out, and what is session 1 going to look like, and how often am I going to email, and how often am I posting in the group, and having all of that written out before saying, here's what I'm going to do, because it was a great idea. And I will do it. I just need to.
Well, it's good to create buzz, but putting it out there and then withdrawing it harms your reputation, right?
Yes,
So
it does.
as long as it doesn't become a habit, right?
Yeah, that's not going to happen again.
Yeah, awesome. All right. So one thing I'd like to talk about as far as goals go is that you really need to believe in your goal and really want it. Because if you're not just so passionate about it, and if you don't have a strong reason for doing it, when it's not exciting anymore and it's hard work, you might quit.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's absolutely, relevant to, again, going back up on that ladder. It started it with, all the chutzpah that we had, like they brought us over, they explained what the element was, what we were going to do. And I was like, I'm doing it now. Like James and I, you and I are going, and I jumped right into it with all the enthusiasm. But then once it started to get hard, is when I started to back off.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think